What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here. Today I'm going to be giving you my predictions for the first weekend of CDL matches and kind of showing you just basically where I think they're all going to be lining up after the first weekend. So yeah, let's jump right into it. First match, Friday, we have Boston Breach versus Atlanta FaZe. Love Boston Breach, but FaZe is obviously... I think FaZe is obviously going to get the dub here. I think it's going to be probably in a 3-1, maybe even a 3-0 here. I'm sure FaZe is going to want to come out, set the tone real quick on the season, and I just don't see with that Boston Breach lineup they're going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to hold up against Atlanta FaZe. I can see them maybe winning like a control. Maybe the S&D. That's really it. I don't see him taking a hard point against FaZe. I think FaZe is just the superior team in this matchup. So I would predict a 3-1. I would say probably Atlanta FaZe takes a hard point. I would say the Surge and then lose the control and end up winning the hard point. And yeah, they start off 1-0. Next is OpTic, Texas, and Minnesota Rokkr. Very good matchup in my eyes. I think these guys are very close based off of my rankings. You can interchange them either way. I want to say OpTic will come out and win this. I think they will have a higher slaying potential. But that Minnesota team has a bunch of just a bunch of smart guys there, so they'll find a way to win a map or two. I would give Texas the win, and I think it's honestly it's got to be a 3-1 or a 3-0. I think if it goes to a game 5, I think Rokkr probably has a better search team overall. That's just my personal thought process on it. I think it's going to be a very good matchup. I think most of the maps should be... I think they're going to be close overall. And, yeah, I'm excited for that matchup. Third matchup on Friday. Got the Vegas Legion, LA Thieves. I've heard some pretty good stuff about the Vegas team. I've also heard them arguing quite a bit. Coming out against the LA Thieves, it's a tough matchup. I think LA Thieves are also going to be doing kind of the same as Atlanta FaZe, just kind of showing like, hey, we were that team last year. We are the team to beat this year yet again. And I would put my money on them winning probably 3-1. I think Legion could probably steal them. I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas came out and took the first hard point. But then after that, I think Thieves would kind of regain and end up taking the series. And the final match for Friday, you have the Los Angeles Guerrillas and the Seattle Surge. I'm a big fan of Seattle Surge this year. They were nasty last year. I think they're going to be nasty again this year. LAG, I said in my previous video ranking them, consistency and just slaying overall, I think it's going to be a huge problem for them this year. And so for that, I'm going to give Seattle Surge a win. I would guess it would be probably a 3-0 in my eyes. I think Seattle's really going to come out really hot this year and show why they deserve to be another top 3 team in the year. So for day 2, first matchup, you got Minnesota Rokkr and Toronto Ultra, Battle of the North. Should be a very exciting matchup. You have, Minnesota Rokkr has 2 former Toronto players. Ultra have Standy, so it should be a more intense rivalry than it already is. I do think Minnesota will have the edge there, personally. And I think I see it going to a Game 5, and Minnesota end up clutching up. I could see it going Game 5, round 11 even. And my Minnesota Rokkr can finally regain the throne of the North. But then Game 2 of Saturday, you have New York Subliners versus the London Royal Ravens. I believe, this will be the first time we see both of them. I've heard London's been kind of struggling in scrims, haven't seen anything. I haven't really heard anything about New York Subliners at all. But if I were to guess, I would say that the Subliners were to come out and show that this team can hang with the rest of the group. And I would say they probably win, I'd say 3-1. I think the Royal Ravens, they could probably take the Surge, if I were to guess. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. Third game of the day for Saturday, Seattle Surge and Boston Breach. I believe I like the Breach roster, but like I said, Seattle Surge, really good team last year. I think they're going to be really good this year. I think they're going to start off this year 2-0. And I would probably say, I'd like to say that Boston Breach could force it to a Game 5. Yeah, I would say probably in 5. So that would unfortunately set Boston Breach an 0-2 rough start of the year, but very early. And the final match for Saturday, you have Florida Mutineers and the Vegas Legion. First time we see Florida here will be the last match on Saturday. We'll see Vegas as well. I think this is where Vegas will get their first win. They'll end up going 1-1 on the weekend. And I think it's going to be a 3-1 fashion. I think they lose the S&D. Florida is a very good S&D team. If Florida ends up taking the control or even the first hard point, I think it could very easily go to the Mutineers. But I just think that the Vegas Legion-wise, they'll win their hard points. So I'm fairly confident in that overall. Then the first day of Sunday, you have the Guerrillas and the Royal Ravens. Two teams I kind of had in my bottom 3. I do think the Guerrillas will end up winning this one here. Yeah, like I said, I like Arcitys, I like Huke. I think they might kind of get outslayed overall in the series, but I think that I think they'll have the better overall teamwork if they have been having some success so far. So I would say the Guerrillas winning in, I'd say 4. Once again, I think the Royal Ravens, they can probably get a control there. Maybe the S&D. But I think overall the Guerrillas will show that they had at least an okay start to the season. Second match on Sunday, OpTic Texas, Florida Mutineers. Personally, if OpTic comes out in 3-0's Minnesota, I would not be surprised if they came out Sunday and also 3-0'd Minnesota. They got a pretty good S&D team there. With iLLeY, Dashy, even Scump's been coming into his S&D prowess these last couple of years. I think they're just gonna simply outclass Florida here. Yeah, not really much more to say to that. I think it's honestly gonna be probably a slaughter. Second to last match of the weekend, you have the LA Thieves versus Atlanta FaZe, my number 1 and number 2 teams. I want to say Atlanta FaZe, they're going to come out very upset that they finished second pretty much the whole entire year last year, losing to the LA Thieves. So I think that they'll probably take the first hard point, and maybe even the S&D. But I think LA Thieves could pull off the reverse sweep, so I do have them winning in a 3-2 fashion. Now this is not knowing... All this is not knowing what any team's good at maps-wise, or, you know, if they're going to get the M4 out in time. I'm not sure. I haven't heard. But yeah, overall, I think the LA Thieves will win in a reverse sweep. And the final game here to end the weekend is Toronto Ultra and New York Subliners. Very torn here. I really like CleanX here. I think this Ultra team will be a better team than last year. I would almost say the same thing about New York, but at the same time, they had quite a streak to end the year outside of champs. But ultimately, I would probably put... I'm going to put Toronto winning that, and I would put it also in a Game 5. So, yeah, kind of a quick recap here. So you have the Boston Breach. They will be going... I have them going 0-2. Atlanta FaZe, I have them going 1-1. OpTic Texas 2-0. Minnesota 1-1. LA Thieves 2-0. The Vegas Legion, have them going 1-1. LAG, I have them going 1-1 as well. Seattle Surge, 2-0. I believe they would. Them and Thieves should be the two teams that I would put coming out 2-0 after this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, if Atlanta FaZe beat LA Thieves. My personal preference, I think 100 Thieves is probably going to win that matchup down here. So, Ultra, they're going to be 1-1. It's my prediction. I think they're going to lose that North battle, but should bounce back against the Subliners. Subliners are also going to be 1-1, which leaves the London Royal Ravens and the Florida Mutineers starting off 0-2 to the season. Vegas Legion, I think, you know, you have a very tough first matchup against 100 Thieves. It'll be a nice bounce back against the Mutineers to kind of finish your weekend off. Kind of build some confidence going into your scrims for the next week and into the next weekend matches. OpTic Texas, you'd obviously be very happy if you went 2-0. Minnesota team's gonna be very good, so it's gonna be a good matchup there. Yeah, 100 Thieves, I think you're gonna go 2-0. This matchup here is going to be a blast to watch. It'll be probably my game of the weekend, and can't really wait for the matchup in general. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. These are my predictions for the weekend. You can come back and roast me after every day if I'm completely wrong. But I think that it's a very, very solid pick overall. So that'll do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.